Welcome in, South Florida high school baseball fans. Tonight, we're going to be previewing the 4A regional final between Somerset Academy and American Heritage. We have with us the head coach of Somerset Academy, Juan Mora. Coach, welcome in.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. So let's talk about last week's series first. We talked leading into that about how fun that was going to be going down to Key West. And then you guys about maxed out the excitement while you were down there. So talk about that series a little bit.
Yeah, the Key West fans are awesome, man. They're really passionate about their team. I actually have a really good buddy of mine that played college baseball with me. He was like, I bleed red, Primo, and he was like, "Don't talk to me after. We'll talk after the games." And it was Rafi does an incredible job developing this talent. They're really talented program. We were able to get to theory a little bit. We pitched well. We played good defense. It was a complete weekend of good baseball for us, and it's a very tough place to go in there and win two games at that. I have to give credit to our staff. Our boys, they played their behinds. It was truly an honor to be their coach, man. Anthony, they're rolling right now. They're playing the game the right way. They believe in everything that we're telling them, and what they believe in themselves. And they're a dangerous ball club. We're led by 12 seniors, and they've all bought into the mission. And we all kind of dyed our hair. You see, I bought in as well. Um, but it's been a fun ride, man. They're representing Somerset very well.
Let's talk about leading into that series. You got to figure that first game is just going to be a tight, low scoring affair. All the planning you can do. I'm sure one of the plans wasn't what happened on Friday night. So
Yes.
how as a coach do you, when you're going through that, how real is that? Because that was so out of the ordinary for anything we've seen from him all year and from anybody even getting close to touching him like that.
I just honestly, I know he didn't have his best game. John Mora, he started the game. It was an 0-2 count, and let me tell you, he fought. He worked to like a 9 or 10 pitch at bat, and then he barreled the ball that almost we thought it was going to go out. You know, the kid Maltz made a great catch in center field, but it truly set the tone. The next kid up fouled the first pitch off, like, and then the second inning, our freshman hit a double off the fence, and then a wild pitch, and then a base hit, and then we would have 1-0, and it was like, okay, we're here to play, and then, obviously, they went, we were ready for the fastball, as much as you're gonna be, because he's special talent, special arm talent. Um, but like you said, as much as we try to prepare, you can't. These kids are able to hit this velo. Me and the coaching staff, Calvin James, a Hall of Famer, we were like, these kids they're not phased by velo. It's like they just they believe and they're gonna hit it. They see it all the time with the machines, and we went into having. I told them, let's try to have good at bats against them. Let's try to extend them a little bit. Even if we don't get a hit, let's work him. Let's make him go 6 pitches every at bat. We pride ourselves in having quality at bats all the time. We can get into the bullpen by the fourth or fifth inning. I think we have the advantage, and we truly try to make pitchers work. We faced Brady Snow during the year in the championship, and he's also another talent. I know we're going to see him tomorrow, and it's just there's not much you can do. Just try to do your best. You know what I mean? Buckle down, cut your swing down, and go to work. You know what I mean? And do the best you can and hope for the best. And that's what our mentality was. And I think the boys executed well. And we were able to add on runs there and put pressure on the defense. And I think we did a really good job offensively off theory. You know,
Sure.
yeah,
I talked to Mo from Southridge the other day, and it was interesting. We talked about these type of playoff runs don't come around often, right? When you're in the
yeah,
middle of it and you have a team that gels in the right way and they're gelling the way his team is and the way your team is right
yeah.
now, those are special moments. How hard is it to stay in that moment and realize that some of these are once or twice in a coaching career type teams. So are you recognizing that as the way through, or are you just kind of flying through it?
A little bit of both, but we're trying to be present. We always talking about control the controllables, and you can't control the fans, you can't control the umpire, you can't control anything else, but you could control your approach. You know who you are, what you want to do. We're trying to be in the moment as far as like our team. You know, be who we are. I don't allow my kids to talk to the other team as far as like going back and forth. But I tell them we have to be. We're motivated kids. Like to have a good time, and these kids have known each other for a long time, and that's our way we play. We play that style. I kind of have to let them go a little bit. I told them the playoffs,
Mhm.
be who you want to be. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and it's kind of like working in our favor. We try to have a good time, and they're buying in. They're buying in, and they believe they believe that they can accomplish our goals that we want, and then and like you said, it's a fun ride for me as to enjoy all the hard work our coaching staff has put in with these kids, and even them, they put in a lot of work, and we've done a lot over the years, so it's really fun for us to go through this.
Sure. And you've mentioned the confidence a couple of times that they're playing with.
Yeah.
At what point during this playoff run does it start feeling maybe like destiny of this end result of where you want to go?
One pitch at a time, one game at a time. We can't look ahead. We can't think of what if. We got to control what we can control, and that's the next pitch, the next at bat, the next ground opportunity to make a play. And I think the kids are doing that. They're not thinking ahead. I think facing Brady Snow during the year helped us out against Theory. Seeing that type of velo, it's you don't see it all the time, and it's and they believe they can do it. You know what I mean? They bought into. I told them we got to cut some stuff off, the load, the stride. And just be tough outs, be pesky. Our team, our strength is our team speed. We've always stole a lot of bases. I think over the weekend at Key West, we stole 19 bags. Like and they have a good catcher. We keep applying pressure, and that's all we can do. We can't change our mo. You know what I mean? I know Heritage has a great throwing catcher. I know Snow is a good pitcher. They have McKeegan lefty, does a great job, good move. We just we have to play our brand of baseball, and control what we can control. You know what I mean? I know
Sure.
Heritage is a well coached ball club. Bruce does an amazing job with them year in, year out. Even this new group of players, they're in that championship caliber, mindset, and they're the standard. Since day one, I said everything. If we want to get to our goals, it has to go through Heritage. And even when we lost the district title game, it was. I told them, hey, we'll be back. And our team manager actually told me that on the bus. He was like, "Coach, you said this," and I was like, "Wow, I can't believe I said that." But it's been a hell of a ride, man. Most definitely, not because my son's on a ball club, but like these kids are all my kids, and it's just been a really fun moment to be here with them and enjoy this. You know what I mean? So it's been
Sure.
really fun.
Well, whatever you're doing, coach, keep doing it because it seems to be working. And I wish you guys a lot of luck this weekend. And
Thank you,
maybe I'll be
Anthony.
talking to you again next week.
I hope so. Hopefully, we get the opportunity to make that drive. I told them today 120. It's 120 miles from our school to the complex in Fort Myers. So that's our number, 120 miles. Let's see if we can make that trip. You
All
know what I mean?
right.
Yes, sir.
Sure. Well, good luck to you, coach.
Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate you.
All right.
All right, have a good one.